Welcome all you fire signs to your weekly energy update. And this, of course, is for all my Aries, my Leo, my Sagittarians, no matter where it appears in your chart. We're going to be looking at the week of March 20th to March 27th, and these are also timeless. So if you're coming across this reading outside of that time frame, I would trust your intuition and still listen or watch, because I'm sure there's messages there for you if it brought you here. So for this week, of course, we start off March 20th with welcome to Aries season. So happy birthday to all you Aries that are coming up. It also is, of course, the start of the spring and fall equinox across the world. So happy equinox as well. I do have an Aries season reading that I'll have posted at the end of the video here. And also I put out like 2 weeks ago a fall spring equinox reading, pick a card, which I'll also have linked at the end here. Now this week we don't have any full moons and new moons happening this specific week, but we are just coming off of the Virgo full moon on March 18th, which also brings some energy leftovers into this week as well. And yes, I did also record Virgo full moon readings for each zodiac sign, which I'll have linked at the bottom or at the top here at the end of the video if you want to go check any of those out. But for this week, we're going to pull a card here, at least one from this Messenger Oracle, and just see what the Creator, what Spirit would like you to know about this upcoming week. So for our fire signs. All right, so for our fire sign, whoa, okay, there we go. You did get two, so you have become a shapeshifter. Love these beautiful cards here. We'll put that right here. And then you also have be without malice. So I like these two combined together, because that is the shape-shifting that you're going to be doing, is shifting into someone without malice. So we'll look at this be without malice first. And it says, you've been hurt, you've been disrespected and disappointed by others. Another has let you down or betrayed you. And it is normal and natural to experience feelings of anger, hurt, and disappointment. To feel any and all emotion is natural, but you have a choice always in how you respond. Do not allow your hurt to become a source of infection. Acknowledge it, learn from it and your experiences, and then let the anger, hurt, and disappointment go. Do not allow them to inspire retaliatory acts born of malice or spite. And actually become a shapeshifter's right across from here. So we will read that as well. And I like this. This is dark and this is light, right? And so we'll talk about that in a moment here too. But this one says the kitsune, I don't know if I pronounced that right. It's Kitsune, maybe kitsune, is a shapeshifter, a mythical fox that can take on human form. At this time, a shapeshifter is what you need to become. All too often, we restrict and limit ourselves by embracing rigid labels, definition, and ideas of who we are and who we're meant to be. From one moment to the next, you are always the person you are meant to be. But if you open yourself to growth, you can become more. Like the kitsune, the more tails you have, the more powerful and wise you become, because they can have like multiple tails. The more higher they move up in there. See how she has all these tails back here? The higher and more evolved you become, and the more wise you become. So that's beautiful for this week. It's just some information on how you can transform a situation and an experience, because you do in every moment, no matter what comes your way, you have that power of choice. Like it talks about, you get to decide what story you apply to a situation and what emotion you feel through a situation. And we did come here to experience all the wide array of emotions that we can experience here on Earth. We don't get to experience a lot of them on the other side, like anger and disappointment and resentment, all those emotions that are tied to fear, because there is no fear on the other side. There is just unconditional love. So we come here in this little hollow deck of life to be able to experience all those things that we can experience on the other side. And by experiencing what we're not, we more fully understand who we are. It's the shadow and the light standing right next to each other. And I do have the Black Tarot, which I have been using this to represent messages from your shadow, from this tour guide that is taking us on this beautiful adventure through this giant amusement park of fear, full of fear rides. And because it's our tour guide, it knows what's going on behind the scenes and, beneath the surface, the subconscious things. We know what we're conscious of, but there's all this programming that's running underneath, and these are going to be what they want you to know about this next week. So let me just shuffle these up real quick. Let me see what your shadow wants you to know, which is a part of you. It's not something we want to destroy. We often in spirituality are told, destroy the ego, destroy the shadow, we must be, destroyed. And it's like, nope, it's a part of ourselves. It's our tour guide. Why do we want to destroy it, right? We want to get to know it and learn its motivations and actually give it what it's searching for, which is the unconditional love that we have right inside us, right? So all these are on screen. So let me just take a look here, and you have the Page of Cups. So the Page of Cups, cups are your emotions, and the page is, it's messages, emotional messages coming your way, which makes sense. So you are having emotions that rise this week, evidently, either new ones that you can just experience and flow through. Like I said, you don't have to react to them. You can feel them and respond and maybe just flow through them, feel them, but it doesn't mean you have to act on them either, right? But pages are also the newness. It's like moving to another level, moving to a different, just like, with all these tails, right? It's like you get to move to a higher space, a more aware space in your emotions this coming week. And so your shadow is telling you, yes, all this stuff that's happening is so that you can grow, so that you can understand and experience those things that you've wanted to experience. Yeah, because here's the World card. And the World card is about significant endings of cycles and new beginnings. So that makes total sense with what's going on here, right? Because you are ending this malice, these feelings of malice, this reaction. This is how you normally react to a situation. But because of what you're going through this week, of this attention that you're giving it, you're able to move to a new level, a new way of looking at things. Let's see what else we got here too. Yeah, I had a feeling the Wheel of Fortune was going to come up here, because the Wheel of Fortune does say that before you came down here, your soul, your, mighty, powerful, supernatural, eternal self that's made of unconditional love, that spirit being, chose that when it was going to come down here to this game and when it's going to leave, and it chose the avatar, the character that it's going to live this life through, which is you, your human side, and every little fated event that it wanted to experience here so that it could have those experiences of the opposite. So it already put in the order for everything that it wants to have come into our life, but within each of those, like we were saying, within each of those fated events, you still get to choose what story you apply to it and what emotion you get to feel through it. That's what I was talking about in the beginning. I was like, this sounds like the Wheel of Fortune card. And it's like, well, that's because that's what it is. It's the spinning of the wheel of fate, of all these fated events that your soul wanted to have happen during this lifetime. And it brings this freedom that comes with it, because it means that you are not on an out of control drama train that's about to leap off the tracks and explode. You are on a monorail train, like at Disney World, which is attached to the track, and it can't fly off, and it just moves smoothly along, and it has all the stops that are happening on purpose, for a purpose. And so this transformation happens, this awareness happens, that you are not a victim of life where life is happening to you. You are a mighty victor of life where life is unfolding for you. And that's what this Wheel of Fortune, your shadow is letting you know, like, the things that are unfolding, like the event that created this malice, it happened on purpose, for a purpose. It's not happening to you, it's happening for you. So now you can look back at it and go, okay, so let me understand it more. Let me reflect on it. Let me look at the emotion in a different way. And, you make this ending of the cycle where you feel like you're out of control and I have no choice but to react that way. Well, now you have so much more power than you've ever been, told that you have. Yeah. And then you have the Seven of Pentacles, or the Seven of Spheres is what they call it in here. And this is about the outside world. You can see you've planted a tree and you have these things that are unfolding in your life. And, all this is about what's going on underneath the surface here. And there's this is basically saying the fruit is growing. It's, like this is talking about all these tails growing. Things are unfolding seasonally and on purpose in a certain seasonal time. And it arrives perfectly. It's not like, finally I'm getting to this point. It's like, no, you always arrive like that monorail. It arrives always exactly on an exact time, because the doors close and it moves to its next space until it opens again. It's always running exactly on time. So this is what's going on underneath. And then we're going to pull from the Sun and Moon Tarot, and that's going to be for this side, which represents what the spirit realm, all your, the creator, spirit, your guardian angel, your angels, your spirit guides, your loved ones who are already on the other side, your ancestors, and any of those other beings of unconditional light and love. What they, or unconditional love and light, I could say too, what they want to tell you about this upcoming week. So what would you like our fire signs to know, please? Okay. And that one, and that one. All right. So the one that made itself known here is the Five of Swords. And swords are your thoughts, your beliefs, your mindsets, your attitudes, your expectations. And the Five of Swords has this awareness that comes, which is totally what is going on here with this malice, because the Five of Swords, 5 represents this transformation, this movement of understanding, like the perspective shift. And so this is a mental perspective shift. And, usually there'll be like people pictured here that are walking away and their swords are here. And, oh yeah, this one has someone laying down. You have defeated them. You've taken away their swords, right? And this is about the malice that, this conflict that appears when we feel that we need to have a small t truth of our fears, our expectations, all those of the human world, those supposed tos, those shoulds, those need tos, those have tos. We prove that ours are more truer than theirs, or they're trying to prove that theirs are more truer than ours. Well, the small t truths of the human experience, like this Wheel of Fortune that we were talking about, they're contradictory, right? Because that's why we get in arguments and wars, because we all have these different opinions on what something should be, or supposed to be, or needs to be, or have to be, or must be, right? And so this Five of Swords is this awareness, this transformation that happens because you end up holding on to the Ace of Swords, which suddenly it's like grabbing onto the Excalibur, and it ignites something within you to reach to the capital T truths of the higher realms, which do not need defending. And as you glean new knowledge and new understanding that comes, especially like I was saying, as the more tells you get, as you shapeshift and you start to become aware of the moreness that you really are, then you don't feel the need to defend these small t truths. In fact, that Ace of Swords starts allowing you to cut away those small t truths that you believed, and you didn't even know why you were believing it. It's like I took it on when I was young because that was the popular opinion, and I didn't want to get beat up or punished, and I liked being praised for obeying what everyone said what the supposed to be was, and so I've done that. But so there's this awareness, this transformation in how you're seeing things that's happening. Yeah, here's Strength, the Nine of Wands. Wands is your drive, your ambition, your aha, inspiration, your passion. It's your spiritual energy, or your energy where you're investing it. And the Knight of Wands is, you've come a long way. You have all that energy of all those wands that you've been investing in things, but you're ready to move to a next step. It's almost like you've had it enough. 10 of Wands is you've had enough of the energy being invested in things that you don't want anymore. And so this inner strength is like this becoming a shapeshifter, because you're ready. The nines are like the Hermit card in the Major Arcana, which is the internal search, the inner awareness. And so this strength that comes is like you're finding this inner strength. You're finding your own energy from within, instead of trying to obey all those outside things, those small t truths. You're finding a new passion within yourself on what you want to believe, not what you are trying to believe because of pressure from the outside, but you're finding those truths from within, that energy that's being ignited from within. You can see this one, it's even like the star that's within the lantern of the Hermit card, right? You are feeling, igniting this light within yourself. Yep, because now you have power, strength and power, and you have the Four of Pentacles. And this is so perfect for everything I was just saying, because the Pentacles is about your outside world, but I really look at it as it's about how you're defining your worth from the outside world. And the fours are very solid numbers. Think of it like a table that has four very solid legs on it. It's a very solid foundation. And the Four of Pentacles teaches you that, these other three pentacles of the outside world, that you are defining yourself by like relationships, or by situations and circumstances, or by things and your bank account and your body. When you define yourself by those things, you find that you feel unstable and your worth feels unstable, because those things are unstable. Relationships, unstable because people change or people pass away. Situations and circumstances are unstable because they never stay the same. And things, your bank account, your bodies, those things are unstable because, things break down, deteriorate, or are stolen, right? And so those things are unstable, and they don't bring this wholeness, completeness, and they're very disappointing. And so where the stability comes in is that, like this Nine of Wands, you find your worth from within instead of from the outside world. Yep, because then you have the Ten of Cups. And the Ten of Cups, cups are your emotions, and the Ten of Cups is all about just emotional fulfillment and feeling like everything is overflowing. And you can see here they have the Ace of Cups here, which they're pouring out into all the other cups, which is making them feel that wholeness and completeness, because what that Ace of Cups is, it's the Holy Grail. It's the chalice. It's full of the living waters, which is the unconditional love of the creator of all things. That is the spark you find within. That's that spiritual energy. It's unconditional love energy that comes from within. That's what you define yourself by. And so this is beautiful. These all three are so perfect together. And then your last card is the Three of Pentacles. And the Three of Pentacles is beautiful because it represents being authentic to yourself instead of trying to please the outside world and being pulled off of your, just off of base of living your life authentically for what you find within you. So after you come to this place, the Three of Pentacles comes in as this message for you that, you know, you can have people in your life, and usually like one of my favorite decks, one of my favorite cards on a deck, and I can't remember which deck it is at this point. I have too many. I have a lot. I shouldn't say too many. I have a lot of decks. But there's usually someone that's creating a beautiful work of art, and there's someone standing in front of them and someone standing behind them, and the one behind them is the backstabber, the dream, buster, that says, I don't know why you're doing that. You're not going to be able to do well at that. And blah, 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 and we know what we do with them. We put them outside of that, our circle, and because we don't want that. But the person in front of us, the supporter of our dream, the one that's saying they're so proud of you and I can't, wait to see what you do with all this and you're going to be so successful and this is great and da-da-da-da-da. And then they say, but have you ever thought of doing it this way? Now, our ego, our shadow side, our human experience, it loves the praise, not so much the punishment, or the rejection. So it's like, yes, okay, maybe I'll alter my course. This is my authentic way. I want to go, but because I don't want to lose their support, I'll veer off. And so that's what this warning is here, is once you find all of this within you and you find this new way of looking at things, don't let that other stuff draw you off. Become this, allow this stuff to be on point. Let yourself authentically be this shapeshifter, this person that you're changing into, because you're finding the solid foundation within, so that you don't have to worry about all that, what people do to you. It doesn't mean anything about you when you have this solid foundation. So you're able to look at these situations before that you would have malice about, because you were defining yourself by their actions. But when you stop defining yourself by their actions, you start to really care less and less about other people's actions, because it doesn't mean anything about you. It is just them expressing what they're feeling, and your feelings about what you're feeling, seeing and experiencing, are your triggers inside you that you can look at within yourself. So it's a beautiful week of transformation for you, where you don't have to be this, angry, resentful, disappointed, malicious, emotional burst of fire that people don't want to be around, right? Instead, you get to shapeshift and see life in a different way that frees you. So I really, really love this for all you fiery signs for this week. So I love it. Also, if you are looking for more messages of love from above, I do offer monthly readings for each zodiac sign. And like I talked about in the beginning, we got the Aries season card, reading, and then we've got the equinox reading and the Virgo full moon. And I have some other videos that I put out each month as well. So if you don't want to miss out on any of those and get notified immediately when they become available, if you give this video a little thumbs up and click the like button, also click the subscribe button, that gives you access to this notification bell. And when you click on that, it'll give you access to your settings, and you can select all, and then you'll be notified of any new videos that come out from this channel. Also, doing those things helps spread the love, because when you like a video, you share a video, you comment on a video, or you subscribe to a channel, it makes the YouTube algorithm just go crazy. It's so happy and wants to share those videos of the channel with other people as well. So if you feel inspired to do any of those things, I am grateful for that. Also, these are general readings. If you want more specific information for your specific life, I do offer personal readings, and all that information is in the description box below. All right, all my fire signs, As you go throughout this following week, please know that each and every second of every day of your life that you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things. And of course, I love you too. Have an amazing week. I'm sure I'll be talking to you very soon, but until then, you hang in there and you take care.